As we did cover last week, database concept, we touched the SQL parts. Now let's consider it again. Let me share my screen. In today's session, we are going to learn about how to use that SQL, MySQL DBMS workbench that we already installed it on our computers. So we're gonna learn it, that how to use it, how to create databases inside that, how to create tables. We're gonna study some sorts of data types concepts inside tables. We're gonna study row fields, these sorts of information we will study today. Okay, till now, do we have any questions regarding last week's session, which is doubtful for you guys? If yes, please write it in the chat box. Okay, Ahmad says not for me. Okay, as we don't have any questions, let's resume our meeting. Okay, last week we did cover let me take one. Today we will start from SQL itself. We said that SQL stands for structured query language. What does structured query language mean? Structured mean you follow some rules and regulation. You arrange it in a proper format, like table format. Query is a point that you're gonna ask questions someone. Suppose, for example, I'm asking question that what's your name? This can be also query. And language means through which language I'm navigating, I'm asking questions. SQL made up of these three category, and short form for these three words will be SQL, structured query language. Now, why we should use or we should learn SQL? Because first of all, it's fun. You can use it, you can use it anywhere. If you learn SQL, believe me, you can use Oracle DBMS, you can use MySQL DBMS, you can use Cassandra, even you can use MongoDB with little bit syntax changes that we're gonna learn it afterwards, that what is syntax. Any organization that deals with the large amount of data uses some DBMS. They will definitely use SQL language for that, because SQL helps us to manage that big amount of data which are inside their databases. Suppose it's a Facebook company database, we have billions of records inside that. So for managing the records, they're gonna use what? They're gonna use SQL. SQL is basically the language that talks with the database. SQL do what? SQL do talking. Talking with the databases. Short form of databases will be DB. That was all about SQL. Now, inside SQL, we have concept of table. At the starting point, I told you that we have what? We have concept of structured. Structured means some specific format. Specific format means that you have to arrange it in a what? In a proper place, in a proper table format structure. that if user sees, he or she should understand it. Okay, now this proper format will be like this. Now let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, now this proper format will be like this. Let me close this thing. For proper format, we have table like this, or for structure format. Now inside table, we have a lots of things, a lots of information. These information have their name. Each specific rows, specific column, specific cell has a definite name for that. So we will learn it right now. Okay, I will divide this table into rows and columns. Now, this first section is, let me take the blue, let me add it. Now, this first section, if I consider it like this is my column in DBMS or in database. This is called what? Column. And this particular row, let me take the red color. And this specific row, which I can take it later on, this will be what? This will be my row. Means table consists of rows and columns. And next concept that we will study is that each of the column we can call also what? Each of the column we can say, we can name it as a what? As a field. If you heard the name of field, so you consider it that it is what? It is a column. What is field? A field is a column in a table that is supposed to provide a specific information about all the records in the table. For example, in this column, I have lots of information related to name. Okay, this column belongs to name. This column will consist of all of that billions of username. Nothing else will come right there. So everything that I can see inside that column, inside that field, it will be all about what? It will be all about the names of the Facebook user, Instagram user, or LinkedIn user. We can say it like this. These information was about what? About the tables that we had in SQL, or we have in SQL. Now we have next concept. Before starting, I know that it's a little bit boring, but you have to learn it. These terminology is very important for you people. Now, next point is that most of the people will use the term of record, the word of record. What is record? A record is a piece of information that consists of rows. Now, for column, we have synonym row field. Now for row, what we have synonym? For row, we have, let me take another paint brush. I will take this blue one. Now for this row, we have a synonym called what? Record. As well, we can say it record. Otherwise, we can say it's also known as a horizontal entity of the table. Next name is horizontal entity. Horizontal entity means what? It depends on the row. Just let me clear these things at first. These information are very vital for you people. We can say it is horizontal entity as well. And column has also one another synonym. First was field column and next is vertical entity. For column we can say vertical entity. Let me draw it right here. Vertical entity. You have to at least memorize these terminology in these names, because alternatively I will be using in some lectures I will be using rows, and some other lectures I will be calling it record, or I will be using horizontal entity. You have to understand that I'm specifying the rows. If I'm using vertical entity or field, you have to understand that I'm talking about what? I'm talking about the column. Till this point, do we have any questions, guys?
It's not a question, it's just if you can repeat, you did mention that record is a piece of info that consists of what? I didn't catch that part.
Sorry, come again. I didn't got your point.
Can you just repeat one more time the definition of record?
Okay, you mean definition of record? Okay. A record is, you want to write it? Okay, write it down. A record is consists of information which is inside one row. We can say like that, a record is consists of those information which is parallelly inside one row. We can see it. Is that clear now?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Till this point, we are good to go. When I can see that we don't have any questions. Now, next concept that we will see in SQL, that is called null concept. Now, what is null concept? Let me take the screenshot of this first and let me put it inside that thing that we can keep the record of that. No, doesn't work like this. Let me take a new one. Okay, today date is, that is 15 of May 2023. And I will add one screenshot. Whenever you access these files, you will definitely get to know that what's going on 15. Now let's get back to our slide. Now, next concept inside the SQL, we have null concept. What does null mean? Null mean empty. What is this empty means? Suppose you are creating a table. With my pen. Let me take a black pen. Suppose you're creating a table that will consist of what? Consist of rows and columns. We have ID section. We have name section. We have email section. And we have phone number section. Now, at the time of storing data, you will do what? You will store ID of 2, name will be Ali. For that, email will be ali@gmail.com. You will not insert what? Insert phone number section, because it might Ali Ali don't have a phone number, or Ali is not using phone. So you will put this section empty. Now, according to database, according to SQL rules, whenever you create a what? You create a field, or you create a field cell, you create a structure that inside this field, inside this vertical entity, I'm storing phone numbers. And suppose one of the row record doesn't have any value, and you're putting it empty. So this part is called what? This part is called null. You have the structure. You can see that I have the structure of that. You have created already the structure, but you don't put any value, you keep it empty. That emptiness is called null value. This is called null inside tables or databases. Okay, let's see. I guess we have questions. Okay, so null value means no data. Yes, definitely null means no data. Okay, in ayat Nuri, the is null command is used to test for empty values. Yeah, definitely in ayat Nuri, we will study those commands whenever we start with the SQL syntax. Yeah, definitely no record. Okay. Now we will be jumping in through that MySQL workbench, that we will see how we can use create, drop, and use commands inside the databases. So all of you just start your workbench. Just I will give you 2 minutes. Start your workbench. I will start also my workbench. Yeah, Mustafa Mangal. So we keep it empty. All right, null. No, you don't need to write anything. I will show you how to do that. As of now, just consider it as an empty value. I will take the screenshot. You people just start your MySQL workbench and confirm it in the chat box. I will take a screenshot of this. And let me start my SQL workbench as well. Okay, Kataya done, Sadaf done. Started action, started. Great. Okay. Now click on that to log in into navigation panel. Now we did install MySQL Workbench. We did the configuration. We installed the server. Now let's see that how to use that MySQL Workbench GUI or panel. So if you can see, in our right hand side on the top, we have some sort of navigation. This button's only for that you can use SQL addition. If you see here, right here, we have written down SQL addition. So we can, if you want to hide this SQL addition, so click on this. It will definitely hide for you. If you want to bring it back, so click on that, it will be appearing on the screen for you. As of now, I don't need it, so I will click on that and I will close it, so that I can have a larger area for my coding. Now, for creating tables, we have 2 ways. for creating table. One through a command and one through what? One through a syntax based. So let's first see through a syntax based that how we will create a database. Through syntax, we can use create database and we will name it database name of, we will add the name of the database which I created. So I will do what I will do. Let me little bit zoom it for you guys. Okay. Let me a little bit more zoom it. That will be great. If you see on the right section, on the left section, if you guys don't see a screen which is appearing on my screen, so just see the under section. You people might seeing this image or this page. So you don't need to worry. Just come here and click on schemas. You need to click on what? On schemas. Let me take the screenshot. You will definitely understand. Just click on what? On schemas. Click on schema. Hope you guys got it. Now, the next part is, yeah, definitely some of the Mac user schemas on the top of that section. They can see it. Okay, now next section is that you might see that you have sys or you have some other databases which is already created from the MySQL workbench already. So you don't need to touch those. We will create a new database for ourselves. Now inside this section, inside this panel, just click on that and type what? Type create. Create is a command which will create for us anything inside database. It's a SQL command or syntax. Now, if I want to create a database, so I will name it, I will use create database, put a space and give the name of your database. Suppose I'm adding database of student, student, student. Put a semicolon. Now do not hit any enter anything because if you want to run it, so it will not run it. Put your cursor on that row which you want to run. So I'm running this section, so I will put my cursor inside this section at the end. So here will be one another point, one another running button to create the database for us. So click on this lightning symbol if you can see. So click on that. It will do what? It will create a student database for me. If you see in the bottom of the screen, here I got a message that create database student, one row affected. It means that I got a green button, so it is successfully executed. Now, for seeing it that whether this job is done or not, the work is successfully done or not. Now, inside that section, that panel, schema panels, in schema navigator, you can see we have one refresh button. We have one refresh button. Let me take the screenshot of that. You people understand it. Here we have what? We have one refresh button on the top navigation section. So click on that. If you click on that, it will refresh and the student database will be appearing that you have already created. Whenever I click on that, we will have tables, views, stored procedure, functions. We only as of now need with the tables that we don't have any tables inside that. Now your duty is to go and create. For me, what? You have to create the database of film for me, create the database of teacher, create database of, you can see, use it employee, Your task is inside the class that you have to create these 3 databases for me right here in the class. Go. I will take the screenshot and put it in a proper way so you guys understand it.
What would I do if the access is denied? It doesn't let me create.
Okay, access is denied. You're talking, who's talking?
This is Katya.
Katya. Can you share your screen, Katya? Let me put this in the chat box first of all. So anyone can use it. Okay, I put the syntax in the chat box. You people create it. Okay, share your screen, Katya. Okay, great job, Khalid. What it says, Katya? Create database student. Why it says that error access user, take student and use it to database student. Okay, it seems that you have already created a database student. Okay, do one thing, Katya. Erase that student name. Erase that student name. Yeah, but name it film. Create database film. Now click on that symbol which I have shown you. Yeah, click on that. It says again that access denied for user. Okay, tick student user. Okay, you're supposed from tick student. You have already users of tick class. I don't know what it says.
Yes, I already have data in there. I think that's why
Okay,
it's not letting me do it.
you just I think you didn't reinstall that. Am I right?
We tried, remember you helped me?
Okay,
Uh,
just do one thing.
Farkon, I have a suggestion.
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, I was also, when I was studying the tech school, I had that connection, and I was able to delete that connection. So you can right click on the connection and delete
Yeah.
it. I think we need to create a new connection because for me it asks connection name and set it up that way.
Okay, just do one thing, Gatia. Go to database section. Can you see in the Babamino? Database, click on database. Yeah, click on that. Click on connect to database. Now inside that, click on that drop down. Okay, you have to click on that. Now press on OK button. Click on OK button. Now do one thing, click on schema. Now come to schema. Select the schema you have and you're in administration panel. Okay, now do one thing. Write down create database. Yeah, create database, name it student or anything. Semicolon, hit that button. It again says access denied for user. Okay. Click on that database again. Delete that section. Connect. Okay, let's establish a new connection method. TCP/IP SSL advanced. A username. Okay, clear password. Okay, now click on that database menu again and click on manage connection. Manage connection. Yeah. Okay, inside manage connection, connection name some connection, name it AlgoSoft. Anything you can name it. Okay, now next job is, okay, your host name is set, port number is as well set. Okay, pass username is that, password is stored and valid. Okay, just clear, come up to the password section and clear it. Come to the password section. Yeah, clear it. Click on clear. Okay, now stored in the valid, it's already stored. The password will be root for you. Okay, now click on test connection button. Now put a password user root. Okay. Information related to this root. Okay. SSL enabled successful. Okay. Click on OK. Now close this section. Now go to databases. Yes, schema.
Prior